Hello students, in the last session we have discussed the methods associated with list. In today's session we will discuss list comprehension. So Python provides a compact syntax for deriving one list from another. These expressions are called list comprehensions. List comprehensions are one of the most powerful tools in Python. Python's list comprehension is an example of language support for functional programming concepts. The Python list comprehensions are very easy way to apply a function or filter to a list of items. List comprehension can be very useful if it is used correctly, but very unreadable if you are not careful with list comprehension. So let's start with the list comprehension. List comprehension provides a concise way to apply an operation to the values in sequence. It creates a new list in which each element is the result of applying given operation to values from sequence. For example, elements in another list. So using list comprehension we can create a new list dynamically from another list. Again, the new list which we create can be a result of some operations. So we can apply some operations on the existing sequence and we can create a new list out of it. Well, let's see a syntax of list comprehension here. The syntax of list comprehension is, inside the square bracket we have expr, expression variable, then we have for, then elements in iterable, if condition, square bracket is closed. So this is the syntax of list comprehension. So for, it is the for statement or looping statement which simply repeats for number of elements in the iterable. So iterable, it is a sequence of values, and inside that loop we have if condition, and based on the condition it generates an element. And this is similar, we have an equivalent code here. So the equivalent code for list comprehension is for element in iterable, and in for we may have a condition, if condition, and expression. The same thing can be written by using list comprehension in one line. Okay, let us look at one example how we can generate a new list by applying or by using list comprehension. So this is our example where we want to create a list of squares of numbers from 1 to 7. Squares of numbers from 1 to 7 can be easily created by applying list comprehension. Now look at this example. We have L is equals to, in square bracket we have this expression, x into 2, into simply means in Python x raised to 2, for we have a loop, for x in range 1 to 7. As we know, range function simply creates sequence from the starting number, that is 1, and the ending number, that is 7 minus 1 it is. So it will create sequence of numbers from 1 to 6, and this loop, for loop, will execute for 6 number of times starting with the value 1, and initially 1 is assigned to x, and there are no other statement inside the for loop. So the result of this for loop, or the value of an expression, is the value which is generated in the for loop. So initially 1 will be the value of x, and that will be the value of expression x here. So it will be calculated like 1 into 2, that is 1 raised to 2. 1 raised to 2, it is 1. For the second iteration, x will become 2, and the value of expression here, it is 2. So 2 raised to 2, it will be 4. Then the value of x is 3. So 3 raised to 2, it is 9. Same way this loop iterates through the values from 1 to 6, and it will generate the squares of numbers from 1 to 6. And when we print L, you may get an output like this. So if you look at these numbers, all the numbers are squares of numbers from 1 to 6. So this is how we can create a list by applying list comprehension. Okay, let us look at one more example here. Again, we want to create a list of squares, but from the old list, which contains both numbers as well as some strings. Now squares can be created only for numbers. So if I say create squares of numbers only from the list, we may write a list comprehension like this. So look at this example. We have a list that is mixed is equals to with some values. The values are 1, 2. Then the third value is of type string, that is a, then 3, and then 4.0. So here we want to create the new list which contains squares of all the numbers, that is only integer numbers. So integer numbers in the old list are 1, 2, and 3. A is not an integer, even 4.0 is not an integer. So we want to create a new list which contains squares of only integers. For that, we may create a list comprehension like in square brackets x raised to 2, then we have a for condition, for in mixed. Our sequence is mixed. It contains some values, that is 1, 2, a and 3 and 4.0. So this loop will iterate for each time for the value in the list mixed. So every time this loop repeats, it executes or it contains a if condition, that is if type of x is equals to integer, and if this condition satisfies, then only the value of x is returned as an expression to the expression part. So initially when we execute for x in mixed, the initial value in the mixed, it is 1. So 1 is assigned to x, so x will become 1, and then inside the for we have a condition type of x, means type of 1. So type of 1, it is integer because 1 is integer, and this condition type of x is equals to int, and in this case it is true. When it is true, the value of x, it is written as an expression where we are again applying x into 2, that means x raised to 2, and in that case 1 raised to 2 will be 1. Now second time when this for loop repeats for x in mixed, second time the value 2 is assigned. And type of 2, yes, it is integer, again it is true. When it is true, the value of x is 2 raised to 2, that will become 4. So we have the second value, that is 4. Then the next time the loop repeats, the value which is stored in x, it is 0. So x is having value a, it is having value a. Again it comes to the if condition. Type of a is it equals to integer? This time it is false, because a is not integer, a is string. So this if condition becomes false. When it has become false, the value of x is not the value of expression, it simply goes to the second iteration of the for loop. So a is not considered here, directly it goes to 3. Now again 3 in mixed, if type of 3 is equals to integer, again it is true because 3 is integer. So that is, as it is true, the value is considered as an expression value, so it will become 3 raised to 2, and 3 raised to 2 it is 9. Same way it will check for the last value as well. So looking at this execution, the output which is generated is 1, 4 and 9. So the output, if you look at the output, it is the square of only integer numbers in the old list. So this is how we can create a new list from the existing one, that too by applying some conditions to the old segments. That is how a list comprehension can be used in Python. Okay, that's it for today's session. We will stop here. Thank you.